Well, hello there, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of Draw with Mikey. Yay! It's all slowly coming back into place. Welcome to February, everybody. As you guys know, Christmas was kind of all messed up anyway. January, I was always taking off, and February was slowly rolling back into the Mikey Mega Mega uploads. This is, of course, the super casual Wednesday series where there's spoiler alerts and swearing. No particular game plan. I just draw in a sketchbook, and it's my opportunity to read through your comments and see what's going on with you lovely lots at home. As of right now, to make things kind of fit in and work, just to basically cramming because I've got no time, it is 5:45 in the morning. Oh man, it's so early. So I've just woken up like 10 minutes ago, made myself a great big pint of coffee, so I'm just going to sip through this. This is going to be a bit of a low-key, chilled episode as I slowly come to life. But, of course, if you guys have got something to say, you probably know the channel's just large enough now, which is kind of awesome, but also really sad that I can't read through every single comment, or at least I do try to still read them, but I can't reply to all of them across all the videos. So if you've got something to say and you really want me to read it, this is the series to do it. Get in the comments below, and I'll try to check it out for the next episode. And with that in mind, going back to like a month ago-ish, when we had the last DWM out, let's see what you lovely people have going on as well. Ray Toon says, "Hey Mikey, morning Ray. I forgot who made the comment about Manga Studio, but to add to what that person had said, Manga Studio is awesome, but once you use it, Photoshop will seem even more harder. MS is just a shortcut in my eyes to Photoshop when you want to make comics or manga and have the fine touch to it." So yeah, what I was probably bitching about, which I... Oh, actually, you've got longer stuff in your comment. We'll come back to it. What I was bitching about a while ago is basically, I really love Photoshop. It's an incredible tool, but you cannot get clean lines, even when you've got some good equipment. It takes ages. It's brilliant if you're kind of painting your character styles in. That's not an issue. But for just clean line work, it's a real bugger. So a lot of you guys are talking about Manga Studio. I will have a play around with that this year, certainly. Do a little review and see if it's going to be any good. As much as I love it, the digital side, I just really love drawing on paper. Like, I can't come away from that completely. And a woman-stroke man with good hair is all that matters. I could look over a bad face as long as the hair and teeth are okay. But when it comes to drawing, the hair and face has to look nice. Now, you're either just telling me what you like in life, so, you know, good on you, I guess, or you're telling me about your preferences when it comes to character design. I can't quite remember. It was a while ago. And also you'd say you're awesome. Well, thank you very much. It's a lovely thing to read first thing in the morning, and love watching your Let's Plays. Oh, you're like one of the very few people who do, but thank you so much nonetheless. It's always a pleasure. Yanda says, "Welcome back." Thank you, Yanda. We had like a I'm still alive kind of DWM in the last time we did this, just to sort of say hello. Don't worry, I've not kind of ridden off into the sunset and passed away. Although it wasn't a car crash. But you start with a joke. What's funnier than 9 babies in one bag? 1 baby in 9 bags. Hey, LMAO. Nice, Yanda. Baby jokes. Dead baby jokes. Or worse, living baby jokes. Kind of kept alive through some artificial means. Learning to form the baby words for kill me. Or Quaid, start the reactor. Tornado Slay says, "If you're immortal and locked in prison, eventually all the people who put you there will die and you'll be forgotten." Yeah. Why do anything? Yeah, eventually we all be dead and forgotten. Then the materials will corrode away and you can just walk out. After billions of years, that 1,000 years you spend in prison will seem just like a moment. I mean, I get what you're saying, but probably when people die off who work as prison staff, somebody else is going to employ replacement prison staff. And sure, they'll start to ask questions when it kind of gets to about 50 years deep and you look completely unchanged. But, I mean, maybe still try not to go to prison? I mean, if you're completely immortal and you'll never die, sure. By the way, we've asked all sorts of random questions, which I can't quite remember, so a lot of your comments are going to be non-context-based answers to random stuff. That's kind of just what happens here. Go with the flow. So yeah, if you are immortal, a lot of things lose their value, and if you want to be like really nihilistic about it, nothing will have value because nothing has implied loss to you. Like you'd probably still try to make friends to pass the time, but after a while, would you even care just knowing they're all going to die? If you live forever and the time frame that you understand the world becomes long enough, then every moment is nothing more than a speck, and then you probably wouldn't do anything. You'd end up like Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen. You'd kind of just be so ethereal and detached from everything, you'd stop finding value in day-to-day stuff. So yeah, that's also good stuff to think about first thing in the morning. Nothing has value. Lovely. AOJ Rose says, "Hey Mikey, good morning AOJ. Recently, I've been trying to do some character design for a mini project, but it's a tad difficult since I don't want to end up copying a good amount from a character that is similar, personality and character type-wise, to what I'm aiming for. Hashtag hardcore crew. Yeah, getting loads of motivation about a character from reading other manga and stuff is great, because you're just like, oh, I really want to do something like this that's a bit similar. And then after a while, you're just kind of like, oh, I really want to just actually remake this character and use it myself. And you can't do that. You've got to kind of pick and choose, but maybe take some of your own life experiences and events and put it into that character design to give it your own unique twist. But yeah, do bear in mind. Oh my god, super early alarm. I'm going off piste. There we go. That's horrible. You've just had an insight into my alarms. So, like, I've got a new phone to... I had to get this in order to make it work with the drone that I got in some of the other videos. And I haven't quite gone through all the settings yet. And it does have this really persistent arsehole of an alarm clock. And it's got another one set for in half an hour's time. Better turn them off. Lovely technology. And that, by the way, is exactly how random and rough the DWM series is. Normally, somebody else would probably edit that out. I'm not going to bother. You know how it is. I'm really tired. I just want some tea and to read your comments. So Colby Senior says, good to hear you're okay. Sorry about the car, man. Oh yeah, my car was written off. My sister had a wreck a day or two after her 21st birthday. Oh shit, I hope she's right, man. Last year she lost a car, but she came out without a scratch. Oh, well, that's the best of a bad situation, I guess. And Decine Passion says, nice drawing. Thank you very much, Decine. What I was saying, AOJ Rovo, is like, yeah, there's so much manga out there. Almost any character you draw is going to look like another character, but try to give the story and the personality your own twist. So that's where they really come to life, anyway, for me. Yeah, so obviously I'm kind of just getting back into things. Having January off on the channel is probably a wise idea for someone like me. I like to take a little break from everything. But now I've got to warm up and get back into the artwork. So as you guys know, we're doing a made competition. My art, your design. Don't forget to, enter into that if you want me to have a stab at drawing your artwork. But on the sketchbook right now, this is the first time I've put pen to the sketchbook in absolutely ages. So I thought I'd just go onto Pinterest and look at pictures of faces and just start to sketch away. And you'll notice all the stuff on the left hand is horrible, like really horrific. That's the nature of the sketchbook, obviously. It's never going to be completely perfect. But you have to loosen up when you get back into it. When you start drawing again, it's like when you start doing exercise, you need to stretch your muscles. So your work's really tight and it doesn't have a loose flow. And as I kind of get over to the right-hand side of the sketchbook, my work starts to loosen up a bit already and have a bit more flow to it. And you really have to do this. You have to warm up those skills every time you come away from it for a while. Like, you wouldn't just pick up a pen and do a final piece. You might spend 15 minutes just sketching up and getting really loose in kind of your mind and your wrist and how you put stuff to paper, and then go on to some actual product work. It's crazy. It's a lovely world, and it's like most skills. You tend to, how is it? So Casey Neistat did a video where he kind of says, life is like being on like one of those travelators you get in airports, and if you walk along, like you just give a regular pace, because life goes in the other direction, you basically stay on the spot. And if you really want to increase and improve, you have to proper hustle, like really give it some to get progress. And if you don't do anything, then you're actually just going to go backward and lose your skills, because like entropy and stuff like that in life just does that to you. So you got to get hustling, everybody. I mean, not right now. You could also just go back to bed. That's a genuine option I'm considering right now. But, get stuff done. And yeah, get back into things. So time off was lovely. We're going to slowly be making our way back, my delicious friends. Hakuma Wolf says, hey Mikey, hello Hakuma. Are you going to play The Last Guardian? I might well do. Is that the one with the kid and that weird creature type thing? That always looks quite good. The Let's Plays are probably... I mean, I want to still do them because I love catching up through these video games. Some of them are so freaking awesome. And we still haven't completed Resident Evil Remake either. But it's the time. Like, whilst I'm just playing around with these other two channels at the moment and living my life and having a day job and doing the commissions again and stuff, I'm always bitching about this. But, like, this is super extra no time. I've had to shave an hour off my sleep at the end of the day and try to shave an hour off the beginning of my sleep. Wait, how does that work? Go to bed later, basically, and wake up earlier to fit in all the stuff and ting. So I don't know what's going to happen about this whole situation. There's just a lot I want to do, and sleeping is getting in the way. So is my day job, but you kind of have to stick at that a little bit longer just to kind of earn some money whilst things are all up in the air for Mikey. Tyrant Nephilim Asukara says, I just went through what you were talking about. At 1830, the whole pulling back out of a skill idea where you haven't drawn in maybe weeks or months, and you try to draw, this is absolutely on topic of what I was just saying, lovely, and you try to draw and you can feel just how rusty you are, but as you draw more and more, your hands and muscles start to remember how to draw like they did before. Anyone who's going through the same thing, I recommend drawing stick figures, but trying to do them in a more realistic and then focus mostly on the poses and then the basic shapes like circles, and slowly working your way back into more 3D shapes like cubes and stuff. So yeah, getting into gesture work is a great start to loosen up. Like, obviously I've just started trying to draw faces again, which is probably the worst way to do it, but really loose poses and gestures that give you sweeps of arms, focusing on where you've got straight lines on bodies versus where you've got curves that interact. Yeah, that's a great shout, sir. Great shout, sir. Night T says, glad you're okay and glad you're back. Love you. Love you too. Thank you very much. And also Feather asks, where are the commissions? Most of the commissions I do are private. Some of them get YouTubed. Some of them go on Patreon. And the rest just tend to get emailed to people because they pay me money to keep them to themselves. What a lovely world. Agizo Watt says, hey Mikey, good morning Agizo. When you were talking about manga where the logic behind their moves were kind of... when you were talking about that manga where the logic behind their movements were kind of BS, you kind of reminded me of Air Gear. My question was, have you ever heard of it? The artist's pen name is Oh Great, and his art is crazy good. His stories can get violent and super ecchi. Type Air Gear. Oh, is this going to turn into Okay, type it into Google. I'm just going to open a new tab. God, it's been so long since I've been reading through your comments and doing all this. It's all coming flooding back to me. I forget how much I enjoy this. Such a sad man. Okay, what we got? Air Gear, let's have a look. Bloody love your manga suggestions. You've always got such good manga suggestions. And then every now and then, one of them, you suggest just something that's borderline hentai porn. But, swings and roundabouts. Yeah, this does look really, really good. Oh, cool. Is this based on Greek mythology? I noticed he's got a lot of wings coming out of his trainers sort of thing. Oh, yeah. Smith's art style is amazing. Good suggestion, sir. I'll leave that tab open for when I come back from work. Nice. My Rustra says, hey, Mikey. Hello, Mai. You knew it was coming, but what pen do you use in DWM? You motherfucker. Sip of tea. I forgot about this. I'm not even going to explain what that is about, but I did forget that happens. On a serious note, I bought those pigment pens, and it seems that when you try to shade in, you see white spots on a paper. What? So, are you shading wrong, or do you need a new pen? White spots, if you're using a pen that's a fluid base, and you've got white spots on the paper, where the ink's not setting in, that kind of suggests that there's like an oil or grease on the paper, maybe, that's not allowing the ink to set all the way through. So make sure that it's not because you've got your hand resting on the piece of paper as well, with no other bit of paper or cloth below it, because the oils from your hand can sometimes affect the surface of the page, and then when you try to colour over it, you'll notice that you're not getting that smooth technique anymore, because the paper's absorbed some of the greases and oils. Happens all the time. So when you watch like mangakars and stuff, by the way, if this doesn't help, I'm wasting your time. But when you watch like things like Inoue Takehiko do his work, you'll often see he has just a sheet of paper he keeps on the page and he rests his hands on that. And in some of the tutorials, I use like a cheeky playing card, but I tend not to now because that can actually mush up pencil work as well, and it doesn't quite have a perfect texture. But just grabbing like a half sheet of paper and laying it down on the right hand side and putting your hand on that whilst you draw on the rest of your page will make a huge world of difference. Oh, I'm having a quick scroll because obviously I'd never prepped this, and I've just realised there are loads of comments as ever. So I'm going to just do a bit of scrolling, talking, maybe a little bit quicker as I slowly wake up. Nico Seco says, hey Mikey, back again this week. Hello Nico Seco. Tried not to rush this week, still a lot of ideas in your mind, but you've been writing the ones you don't have time to do down. Brilliant. When you've got like loads of ideas for stories and character arcs and they mull over in your head, that's great. But do bloody make sure you write them down at some point as well, because that will go, you'll like forget about stuff and then you'll remember stuff and it'll change form, and that's fine. But if you write it down, you're going to be able to come back to it whenever you want to. It's like super mega important. I remembered stuff that I'd forgotten about years ago that I wanted to work on. I'm just like, oh shit, whatever happened to that? Because I didn't make a note of it. Anyway, you've got an Instagram page that you've linked me to. I'll have a look at that later. And you're working on some sci-fi stuff as well. You keep making most of your armors to look alike. Do I have any recommendations? Get on Pinterest, look at loads of different armor types and vary up your techniques from different genres, areas and parts of the world. Karina Thomas says, who wants to play it? Or who wants to play it? Yes, I think we talked about this. We must have. Playground games. Good times. Tim, know your goddamn business, says, glad that you're okay, Mikey. And thank you very much. Draw the Akeno SAS is your favourite one? Akeno Himejima, I remember that one. I finally bought a 19-inch drawing tablet that's being used as a monitor for your computer till you can get a dual screen system. Oh, and it cost you $430, I assume, from the world that you might be in. Maybe it was pounds. So yeah, that's strong, man. You've got to do some strong saving up. You also got a very big scanner. No more pictures with your phone. Welcome to the world of technology. Once you get sucked in, it's hard to get out. But yeah, let me know how you're getting on with that touchscreen tablet, dude. That's awesome. Upload some more art. Stephen Cabrera says, yes, Mikey is back. I feel guilty now because I was only back for like one episode in January, or was it December, just to say hello to everyone. Glad you didn't transform completely into a gaming and review channel. I know, I've split that out now. That's on the Mikey Whitehead channel, and then the gaming is probably still going to be here because this is a channel where I do the stuff I like, but maybe not for a while whilst I find time. I have a simple question. What do you like creating for your manga more? Dialogue, character art, background art, storyline arcs that connect smoothly? Ooh. You know what? I'm a bit of a sad man. I like the world building. So like I do quite like the longer overarching storylines. Like I like the idea that my character's main motivation is going to be this, and when they get to hear this and this is going to happen, and whatever happens, they need to come out of that scenario with A, B, and C having happened to them or having achieved, so that they can go into this, and the world has these kind of rules to it. I really like that long-term overarching stuff. And then I like, after you've got that in, starting to boil down these particular arcs where you're just like, well, in this episode then, I need them to start here and kind of end up here, and for them to have experienced these sort of challenges or have these kind of motivations. So personally, I start really big and really vague, and then I kind of just go in and zoom in and zoom in and zoom in until eventually I'm just thinking about a particular chapter, and then I'm thinking about the actual panels of that chapter and stuff. And the character art for me constantly evolves and tends to be one of the later things now. I used to, when I was younger, just draw characters. I'd see something in a manga, just like somebody was saying earlier in these very comments, see a character, get really motivated, start designing my own character, and then kind of imagine a world that they might be set in or what they'd be up to. And I used to love going in that direction, but it doesn't make, personally for me, this is, because I don't know what the best techniques are. Somebody was recommending on Twitter, go and check out White Manga's videos. Most of you who subscribe to this channel should already be subscribed to him. It's so good what he does. But he has a lot of videos about writing manga and drawing manga and stuff like that. So I will sit down and probably just hardcore watch loads of them over a weekend. But nowadays, yeah, I would like to start really big and then get into smaller microcosms of story, and then think about the characters that I've got and what their emotions are or what their drives are, and then start to put a physical form to them last these days more than anything. I've given it a full 180 flippo. What a weird world. Never really thought about that, Stephen. Good question. What about you? How do you like it? How do all of you like it? Careful. Do you like your dialogue, your character art, your background art, your storyline arcs? Get in the comments. Let me know. Let's have some tea. It's not tea, it's coffee. Why did I say tea? It's just a habit. Yuji Tedishima says, hello, love your artwork. Thank you very much. You deserve way more credit. Oh, thank you. Bear in mind, I'm warming up in the sketchbook right now, but most of these images I've probably seen, well, I've drawn really shit versions of them, but I've probably seen on Pinterest. That's a really good place to just immediately get infused with loads of amazing artwork. How have you found your art style when you started drawing, and the struggles you've faced? You don't have to, but thanks, have a good day. Oh, so you want me to talk about the art journey for artwork? I'll probably have to make an actual video about that. That's a massive topic. But bear in mind, for me and this channel and all this stuff, these are like hobbies. I have a day job, and to be honest, I don't really care about it. It's fine. But like all the art stuff I love doing, I do on the side. So what that means for me is that although I really struggle for time, because it's not my main source of employment, I still get to do only what I want to do, which makes me very happy like that. I'm very stubborn as a man. So in terms of art for work and making a career out of it, you'd have to be way more flexible and probably work way harder than I currently am. But yeah, we'll kind of hit on these topics as we go further down the line. It's all very strong questions. Bill Sanders says, hey Mikey, good morning Bill. Did Ignis who drove your car? Oh, was it Ignis who drove your car for you that time? Oh, that's just a reference to manga. You just have to know that. Oh yeah, and no, I wrote off the shit out of that car. Like, I was not shy about it. I wrecked it. I'm glad to hear you're okay. Thank you very much. And glad to watch the series again after billions of years, hoping for the next SAS video tutorial about poses. Hashtag hardcore crew. So yeah, now we're properly coming back. Like, the DWM is now going to be back weekly, as opposed to that last one that was just a hello, which you all got really hyped for, so I feel so guilty. And yeah, so the SAS kind of stuff, probably going to have to call it Fan Art Friday maybe or something, just to change up the name and drag the channel out the gutter like I've said. But at the moment, it's all about the maid stuff. So everybody's been submitting their own character descriptions into the comment section of the competition thing I was doing. So hopefully at the end of this week, I'm going to just turn up with one of your designs. I've already seen a few that I really am in love with. Like, it's a real mixed bag, by the way. Some of you guys are like, my character is like 13 and he has dark hair and he has a cool like robot arm. And you're kind of just like, oh, that's kind of cool. But it's very, very vague. And then some of you guys are really just into all these rich details about your characters. And I'm like, wow, that's too long. You can't win, basically, with me. I'm just moody either way. But yeah, I'm really just so psyched about some of those submissions. So I need to kind of have a play around and get crack-a-lacking. Kid Fresh TL34 says, DWM, Mikey Megamega's back, bitches. Welcome, sir. And in your drawing absence, you've been keeping up with my gaming, and it's been cool. Both Resident Evil, by the way, will I ever finish it? I will. I hope so. God, I hope so. And the new Final Fantasy. I may never finish that. I have still been playing a little bit of that on the side, but not recording it, because that's just detrimental to the channel, uploading long Final Fantasy Let's Plays. If I really crammed it down just to the main story and plot, like I did with the was it Mass Effect 1? I kind of really crammed them down. Maybe I'll sort of re-upload that sort of stuff, but we will see. And have I thought about doing a Jill Valentine from Resident Evil or the mechanic girl Cindy from FF15 for one of the DWMs or SAS? No, but now I have, and probably will. 11 Jinjin says, hey Mikey, thanks for recommending Evangelion. This sort of thing is my bag, baby. And by the way, I can't figure out if you've seen Attack on Titan anime or not. I've watched like a few episodes of the anime, and I've read the manga a fair while, and it has, yeah, all these epic like fight and music scenes. You've linked me to a YouTube video, thank you very much. But it strikes me, and I don't know who mentioned this, I think it might be Folding Ideas channel, but someone basically said a while ago that Attack on Titan has this kind of same feeling about it that Lost, the TV series, does, in that it's all over the place and awesome because you just have no idea what's going on. But as you kind of keep reading through it, you start to get the feeling that maybe the writers didn't know what was going on either in the beginning, and they're kind of trying to foment it now into this whole royal family story arc. And I don't know, like, I'm slowly coming out of it. I didn't think it was that mind-blowing in the beginning, to be honest. I was really massively intrigued because it's such a unique world. Definitely, that was really cool. But as it's gone on, I'm just kind of like, this is kind of all over the place now, and it's not pursuing stuff. And the whole stuff, spoiler alert, the whole stuff where Eren gets kidnapped and they go through the woods and then they get taken back and then they keep fighting in the fields and then they're trying to get Eren off to this other place and they keep getting more people but keep turning around and keep running, toing and froing, and fucking hell, that lasted for ages. And I just stopped fucking caring. I was like, okay, I get it, she's bad and she's bad, but they both love each other and they're all going to kidnap each other. So, yeah, swings and roundabouts. The government against government arc and the secret, like a corp they got in there, yeah, that's kind of good, but I don't know. I'm struggling to still appreciate it, I guess. Dragon's Law Studio says, always enjoy these. Welcome back then to another DWM. Perfect for listening to when I just go about sketching ideas. And yeah, that's the whole point. Like, I might as well recap this. I haven't said it in a while. Like, obviously, I'm just, as you can see on the video part of things, I've just been chilling out with the sketchbook, sketching, just trying to warm up my technique more than anything, with no particular agenda. And that's nice. So if you guys are getting your own artwork and sketches done in the background, as ever, tell me what projects you're working on. Because it's like, you know, it's Draw with Mikey, isn't it? Kind of in the title. We're just kind of drawing along, doing our own things. Or maybe you're just kind of doing other non-art based work. I mean, all questions and comments are accepted on here. They don't have to be art themed. That's just the nature of this thing. I just basically want to check out what you guys are up to. Gazzy D says, hi Mikey. Hello Gazzy. Love your videos. Thank you very much. And have I done a video about gesture drawing like you did at the start of this one? No, but I absolutely will. And that is thanks to, because I think somebody asked, I'll probably come across their question, but I got some new drawing books. Wait, what am I looking for? Is this it? Oh god, no. Wait, is this it? Yes, it is. So I picked up a few drawing books, like Christmas presents to myself, and they've come like sort of highly recommended from other artists as well. And this particular one that I did the visuals or was working with for the sketchbook work in the last episode is called Figure Drawing, Design and Invention by a guy called Michael Hampton. And yeah, he starts off in the beginning talking about line weights and gestures and all this sort of stuff. Then it goes more and more into how to build up a face and anatomy and things like that. It's got loads of drawing examples and, yeah, covers loads of topics about stress and mass and poses and form. And I've barely started this book, but yeah, I'm really pleased I bought it already. So yeah, I recommend that. Figure drawing. I'll do like a list of like art books that I've personally used. I don't recommend all of them, but they have certainly shaped a lot of how I draw. But it's never too... You're never too old to go back to basics. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're never too good to practice the basics again. So, obviously, I'm going to get into that manga anime style, and I'm getting slightly better at colouring it and doing stuff like that. Still not where I want to be, but obviously I'm coming along a little bit. But yeah, like, I just wanted to stop and pick up a book about drawing figures in a more realistic sense and just mapping that and just really going down to the beginning again and building up once more. It's a great habit to do. It mixes up your style, it expands your techniques, and it reminds you of stuff you might have gotten lazy about or started forgetting. And I'd definitely forgotten some things in that, so I did enjoy it. Also, a friend of mine does some life study classes every now and then she goes down to, so I do need to get in touch and do more of that. It's been a long, long time since I've done some real life studies. Mimi-kun says, "Hi, Mikey." Hello, Mimi. What would you settle? Wait, what would I settle in 1,000 years of drawing? What? I don't even understand this question. Let me read it some more. "Maybe I love your animes and mangas, but I'd probably settle for some occult drawings with a mix of Lovecraftian style like Polish artist Beskinsky or Swedish artist Geiger." Ah, yeah, we all know Giger or Geiger. Oh, rest in peace. Look them up, they're great. Bex. I'm going to copy-paste your Beskinsky. I'm not saying that correctly. I know that reference. Let's go up into the new tab. Beskinsky art. Art known as Stone Islands and Unlimited Faces and stuff like this. Oh, wow. Oh, that's so good. Oh, yeah, okay, I'm going to leave that tab open as well. Thank you very much, Mimi-kun, for that suggestion. What would I settle in 1,000 years of drawing? I really don't understand what that question is or what I might have asked or something like that. But in terms of if you could only... enjoy the artwork of one particular artist for the next 1,000 years? Who would you settle with? Oh God, I have no idea. I'd probably have to pick like an artist in a really conceptual sense, like a mixed medium artist who does drawn work in like physical production and films or something like that. Oh yeah, maybe like I just decide that my favorite director is an artist technically, and just settle with all of his movies. Although even after 1,000 years, you're only going to have a handful of films that you've watched a lot of times. That's a difficult question, which I don't understand. Ask it again, better, although I probably asked the question myself in the last episode and you're just replying, and now I have no context. Scott Perry says, "Hey Mikey." Hello Scott. "What do you like more, mechs or mechas?" I personally like mechs because they look so badass with gun. In fact, that's the only reason I care for sci-fi. Mechs or... wait. Oh my god, is there like a gender difference? Mechs v mechas? Is mechs like manned and mechas are unmanned? What's a transformer? Is that a mech? Wait, let's have a look. Mech v mecha. Oh god. Mecha versus mech, what's the difference? The difference between.com. I'm going to do some learning here. I'm clearly not as geeked up about sci-fi stuff as you are. Mechs or mecha are human-like pilot-driven vehicles. No, I know that. I mean, what's the difference between the two? Okay. Mecha. Large armoured robot on legs, typically controlled by a pilot inside. Whereas a mech is a large piloted combat robot, or just robot. Wait. Okay, so things like Neon Genesis Evangelion is more mecha, and I guess like Endless Waltz stuff, Gundam, that's all mecha because they're human-shaped robots on legs. Whereas like Advanced Pilots and other stuff like Warhammer 40,000, like Dreadnoughts and stuff, they're more mech. God. So I guess I like the mecha ones. The ones at Neon Genesis Evangelion I like because they're kind of fantastical beast style as well, and they bleed everywhere massively. But yeah, I didn't even realise there was... Of course there's a subgenre of anything involving geeky stuff like that, there will be, but I was not aware of it. You've opened my eyes. Too early, though. Too early for an eye-opening. Oh, I can't believe I actually have to have a wash and go to work after all of this. Lovely. Scarab King says, "Hey Mikey, good morning Scarab. I've been using Clip Studio EX for my art and manga, and I've been working on it. It's slowly getting on, and it is a lot of work, but I have an amazing story in my head I need to get out. And you were previously Mr. Shrun on YouTube, hashtag Hardcore Crew. Pleasure having you back, Shrun. I'm not saying that name correctly. Deal with it. And good, I'm really glad to hear your work's coming along. I hope you've got that story idea down. I'm aware that most of your comments I'm reading through are from last month, obviously, when you had the video. So maybe you guys have all made leaps and bounds of progress since then. How is 2017 looking after you guys? Scott Felt says, hey Mikey, hello Scott. Saw you playing 15 and decided to play Final Fantasy 13 for my Xbox for once. Haven't played a console FF since the days of a PS2. And you like listening to DWM whilst you draw and play your games. Hashtag Hardcore Crew. Love your tutorials also. Thank you. And thank you very much, Scott Felt. I am going to... I've just realised, because maybe it's just because I'm reading so slowly and so early, we're going to have to start scrolling up. I'm so sorry, my lovelies. I always read all of your comments on here, but having time to answer them now is really, really tough. So we're just going to be picking and mixing our way through. I do apologise if I've missed your comment. If it needs reading, just post it again. Copy it, paste it into the next episode. We'll see how we're going on. Wow, Devon. Yes, I do live in or near London. What movies come out there? Movies come out really late compared to in Hollywood because we are just behind generally. Some films are released nationwide at similar times, but for the most part, we get our movies about a month behind you get them in the States. Brody Ahmed, Aaron, Alex Coyote, Pac-Man. Big love to all of you guys. Thank you for the nice comments. Characters without guidelines. It comes eventually, Pac-Man. You just learn to build up your technical skill and your eye-to-hand coordination to the point that you can look at something and produce it a bit better without needing guidelines. But don't be scared to use guidelines. A brilliant starting point. It's all about the practice and the experience. Strake White says, hey Mikey, I hope you include my comment this time. Okay, what are you saying? Well, my question is it difficult to adapt digital drawing after normal drawing? Yes, definitely. I've talked about this and I will talk about it when I do the Cintiq unboxing review type thing in the other channel with some artwork on it, sure. Yeah, going from, like, if you get a tablet and you're good at drawing, don't assume you're immediately going to, be a magical drawer with your tablet. It's like any different medium. You realise actually you have to recalibrate how you think about your artwork when you use it. Draw using different techniques, and it took me absolutely ages. And it's almost like off-putting because you're just like, wow, I've put all this money into this bit of technology. And then you're just like, oh shit, I'm not magically an amazing artist. I actually still have to study and work with it and really kind of put the time back in. So be prepared for that. That's definitely true. But it's definitely worth it for the colouring and painting style art. But no, my line art's going to go back on paper for a little bit, I dare say. I like working that way. Casey Ellis, hey Mikey. Hello Casey, for the love of God. Oh, you've already put the hey Casey in. For the love of God, if you're going to be playing a new Final Fantasy, draw a chocobo. Oh, chocobo drawings! Oh, I love chocobos. I haven't thought about that at all. Yeah, it's a great idea. Ryu Takahashi, you were drawing without tea? Get out. Don't worry, I'll commit seppuku after this. That's okay. Oh, you did have a cup of tea after all. Good. James Kusick says, hey Mikey, how do you avoid drawing one eye bigger than the other one? Practice, skill, and time, mate. Drawing one eye and then drawing the other eye to match is weirdly difficult when you're kind of just starting out. Put characters' heads at angles. Don't always have them face on. And map out the eye and measure it with your thumb or your finger and make sure the next one you're doing meets up to those measurements, because your brain will trick you when you draw curves in the opposite directions of curves you're normally used to doing them. So you've done the left eye and now you need to do the right, or vice versa. Your brain doesn't judge curves facing different directions in the same way. It's really messed up stuff. It has a load of dominant sides in how you live your life. So you have to get really technical and just make sure that it's correct. Take your time. Don't do it too quickly if you don't want to. But don't, pain over it either. So, mixed answer really. Don't take too long, don't do it too quickly, and it will work out just fine, ladies. Franny G says, hello Mike, really like this video. Can you please do a tutorial on poses? Yes, I can. This is a very common one. Gestures, poses, and loose works. It's coming. Quite far down the line, but it's definitely coming. More Claire from Claymore requests. Don't worry, I'm definitely logging these. I know that I have to do a Claire for Claymore. Maybe in March or June. I don't know, but we're going to do it. We're going to do one this year, definitely. And Deandra Connor says, good you're back to drawing, Mikey. Hope you had a happy holiday. Thank you very much. I'm just scrolling through all of your comments super quickly. Most of them are well done for not being dead when you crashed your car. I'm glad you're alive stuff. So thank you very much. I've seen all of these very kind messages. So big nods to all of you guys. Q.Q was Porn Chaos Mafia. Well done. Don't you regret changing your YouTube username about an hour later? It's tough changing up. Commit. Rail Larson says, can I do Lala from To Love Rue added to the list? McWillie to really says, I'm finally good at some drawings. Now for the colouring. Good, get on it, sir. And some ninja says, please do Keiko related drawings at some point. Edit, from where does he read / get these questions? The questions that I'm reading right now? Well, some ninja, they're just like the ones that you've put here. If you get in the comments and then write your questions, I'll try to read them for the next episode. Especially if I've missed your comments from this one, it's really important to you. Copy paste it and I'll try to catch it next time round. Bardock wants to know where I've learnt all these things. Where did you learn all these things? Like helping lines and a whole other stuff and knowledge about anatomy and where did I go to school and how I started drawing and how I got better. How do you put a CV together? Okay, yep, like I've mentioned, that will have to go into a developing art style video. It's too much to cover right now. But yeah, I know what you mean. Art at school and then just a lot of hobby stuff on the side. Elite Go skills, walk through the gameplays and more. Oh, mate, your name's so long. I'm not sure if Duck Duck Goose is only an American thing. I've heard of it in the UK, but I think it's American more. You're actually Welsh anyway, so welcome to the right part of the country. You're Pakistani Welsh. That's an interesting combo. Good on you, sir. And then, would I rather go blind or deaf? Personally, you'd rather go deaf and blind, but you'd like to hear my opinion. Is that a pun? Because if you do go deaf instead of blind, you'll never hear my opinion. I could write it down for you, but that would be it. And personally, yes, I'm the same. Not that, well, people who are blind have got their own challenges, and good on you for being good at it. But if I had to pick, I'd probably say deaf. I love music, but I really love drawing as well. So I'd probably have to... Could I go deaf in one ear and blind in one eye? Maybe I'd go for that. I'm not sure if I would. I might just go full deaf. But yeah, that's tough because you're never going to be a massive hard house DJ having a massive career of babes and Ibiza beaches if you're deaf. Or if you do, good on you. Don't let the world stop you. But it's going to be like a completely different music vibe, probably really bassy. So yeah, deaf or blind, kids, what would you rather go for? Don't worry, I've not got a knife. I'm not going to force you. But yeah, what's your own thing? Horses for courses. Caleb says, hey Mikey. Hello Caleb. Would I recommend to get better at the shapes of heads, proportion sizes or textures? Get good at all of them, Caleb. Don't just pick one. Have a wide-ranging art skill. But which order to do it in? Whatever works for you. Start loose and then squeeze it all down. Joel, Judy, Anthony, some other people all say well done for not being dead in a car crash. Thank you very much. Pikachu's cosplay as Teen Titans. Thank you for reading my comment. Oh, Antoine Deanda, the Pokemon stuff you linked me to, I think, a while ago. So that was all good. Yes, Gamer89. This channel is open to everybody. Rainbow, equality, yay, acceptance, all that stuff. All that stuff that isn't KYS that you see in YouTube comments. Everyone's welcome here. Unless, of course, you like that Hans Fritzl guy and you've got teen children locked up in a basement somewhere. Then you need to go and, let them out, if anything. Let the kids free and then get to the police station, put yourself in jail, something like that. But other than that, unless you're into some really weird stuff like that, you're all welcome. Oh God. So I'm just about to read so many of your comments, and a lot of them start with "Hey Mikey," and I'm about to be like, "Oh, hey, Fallen Dark Angel of Death," and then you guys are all writing in "Sips tea, hey, Fallen Dark Angel of Death." I've obviously got this pattern that's now become really, really obvious, but it's nice saying hello. What was your question? You've been sub for a while. Thank you very much. When you first started doing the female tutorials, my question to you is, how do you remember the anatomy? Oh, well, let's go back to earlier comments. With books like, by the way, I don't know this person. I'm not getting paid any money to it. I should do that thing where you get Amazon links and you get money if people pick up on it. I will do that, actually. That's a great idea. I say go back to basics, do life studies, and pick up basic books again, such as Michael Hampton's Figure Drawing, Design and Invention, because it is a great place to learn about anatomy. You don't have to do that. Just go on YouTube and Google it if you want to do it for free. There's loads of stuff about studying different forms of anatomy and muscle mass. And it is a very, very important skill to have if you're drawing lots of human characters. I definitely recommend that. Even if it's only the basic muscle groups and a basic understanding of how the skeleton works and how your body holds its own weight. But yeah, it's a massive game changer for your skills. Rangan's Cuban says, Shogeki no Soma is a food one, otherwise known as Food Wars. Oh yeah, I remember that. Where they all kind of borderline orgasm whenever they eat some delicious food. Good on them. Trainer Orange says, he said for us to draw something where people are together, and my mind immediately jumped to drawing a bunch of graves from the same family. Oh God, that's dark. And Joel says, yeah, I thought being together, then hanging out, and then hanging from a tree. Oh, like, okay, corpses. Cool. Everyone's getting very Game of Thrones book 2, or maybe Game of Thrones book 3. But yeah, Storm of Swords or Feast for Crows? Storm of Swords, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Clash of Kings, Storm of Swords. That's the one where just the effects of war have just like destroyed the lives of so many people and killed so many of the small folk. But they're only small folk, so they don't have value in that kind of world. Our Kush Sidhu says, I've been waiting for decades. Well, you've probably had to wait for 4 more weeks before we're here now. Welcome back. And Fohan Adalukan says, hey Mikey, are there any good movies out now that you can recommend seeing? Yes, I can. Firstly, I recommend subscribe to my other channel, Film Cram. Oh, that's a good plug. Where we review movies. In fact, I have to go tonight back to the films and watch the things. But this year so far, like, I'm going to be a complete sap and say La La Man. La La Man? Watch out. Coming this summer, the La La Man. You sung it now and you'll die later. La La Land, I meant to say. It's the only musical film I think I've ever watched in a really long time and not wanted to walk out of the cinema. It was actually really good and heartfelt, but like it's a real emotion jerker. Don't watch Triple X Return of Xander Cage. That film is bloody awful. But hopefully we're going to have all sorts of great movies as 27 kicks in. I am excited about this year of films and ting. Random Girl for Life says, I don't know, I've asked this before, or if anybody else has, do you listen to Green Day? Asking because I'm even going to a concert for their show in like 2 weeks. Oh, so that was already happened in the past. RG4 Life. How did that go? How was the Green Day gig? And yeah, like not that much now. But my friends and I were in a punk rock cover band back in the day, and we did some Green Day songs as well. We used to have big like punk jeans which really flared out and shit like that, and loads of hoodies. Oh God. But yeah, no, I loved a bit of Green Day. I'm so glad they're still doing their thing. Yeah, let's have a little scroll down. Red Horizons learned a lot. I'm very pleased. And SigVBM says, any quick tips for sketching over your mistakes with a pen? Bonus question, what the fuck does c'est la vie mean? Too lazy to Google it. C'est la vie is such is life, good sir. And it's like just what you say, man. And any quick tips for sketching over your mistakes with a pen? Don't try to hide your mistakes. If you've already done it with a pen, then just understand that line is not where you want it to be and make sure your next line is, you know, above it, below it, wider, longer, shorter, where you do want it. When you're doing ink work, you're already committing a final line to the page. You have to accept that early on, just like I've been doing here. I've been drawing lines in pen, like circles and shapes and mapping out the face, and then just drawing the face on top of it and making the face darker, whereas my sketch lines were a bit quicker, so the pen didn't have a really fat ink line. But yeah, if you're going to do ink to paper, accept the mistakes. It's really hard to do, but just accept it and get over it. And then when you do your final products, maybe have your sketching framework with pencils. Or you can always scan it in and just Photoshop away all of life's blemishes and problems. There's always that as well. And I think loads of most final manga art after it's scanned in is digitally adjusted and altered or toned as well. It's a much quicker way of working. Jonah EXE says, welcome back, Mikey. Hello, thanks for having me, Jonah. Would you ever open an online store? I think it'd be really cool, although you still live with your parents, so it'd be nice if some of it was safe for work. What are you talking about, bro? Like, most of my channel now is safe for work. That's my agenda. Make it safe for work. It's still a little bit edgy. Sure, I appreciate that. But SFW has got to be the theme. We're not allowed to make naughty things on YouTube, so we have to be good. And an online store. Yes, eventually. Somebody else in my day job was telling me all about this. They have an online shop with graphic design and stuff. And there's websites that you just design it and they do all the work and ship it and you just get like a small commission. So yeah, I will investigate that definitely because it'd be nice to pay the rent. So yeah, things for the future. Well, that is most but not all of your comments. I've had to kind of scroll through quite a few of them. If I've misreading yours, I do apologise, but we're running out of time. And it is bloody lovely to be doing this again. I love you guys. If you're listening this late in, you are, of course, the hashtag Hardcore Crew. You know this. And I hope you guys have gotten your own artwork, drawing stuff, or ting in the background. If you've got something to tell me and you want to make sure I read it, then put it in the comments of this video and I will have a check next week around. But I need to get cracking with your artwork description submissions for Made. So have you guys a lovely week and I'll see you next time. Peace and love. Bye-bye.